Welcome to Real Leaders with Roshini, the podcast with real talk, real questions, real insights, and we hope real inspiration. For real. We're at Capitol Grill in downtown Minneapolis, and my guest today is Kristine Fortman. She's the CEO of Minneapolis Heart Institute Foundation, which is in Minneapolis, but definitely serves clients from all over the world. Chris, thanks for being here today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me, Roshini.
Well, you hear Heart Institute Foundation, so all things heart. You must get a lot of questions about heart health.
Absolutely. That's why we're here. We're all about research and education to help people take care of their hearts.
What do you do to take care of your own heart?
Great question. We talk about wellness a lot at work and the team, and we're so busy serving others and making sure others have the answer that we need to make sure we take care of ourselves as well. I try and follow the rules, right? I exercise, I eat healthy, and I take time for myself. And a lot of that is family time. So that's what I do. And I do what I love. And I think emotionally that helps us have a healthy heart.
Yeah, let's talk about that connection between the heart and the brain. You said emotionally. How does emotional well-being play into that physical heart health?
Oh, it's just critical, and we're understanding that more and more every day. Holistic well-being is so connected to the physiological health and your heart, and people need to take that as seriously as their blood pressure, as their BMI, and that is their mind wellness.
Recently, I had my hair done, and my
You
hair
look good.
Well, thank you. Actually, just yesterday. And my stylist had just returned from France. She was on a family trip with her adult siblings and one of her little nieces. And she said it was so beautiful to see the people in France just take time for each other. She didn't see a lot of phones out, checking phones when you're with people. How does maybe our culture in the United States play into bad hearts?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we've had a lot of documentaries and things like that really shed a light on Americans' culture being bad for your heart, right? Supersize and so forth, just if you look at our portions and our busy lifestyle. And we all could learn from other cultures to step back, maybe have a siesta, turn our technology off and be present. And that is part of wellness, is making that time.
I love that. Be present. So important. Women's cardio health is a big push for you, for your organization. I understand there are some gaps when it comes to women and their hearts.
Absolutely. And it's actually phenomenal that we still have the gap we do. We have so much awareness around heart health and Go Red for Women. I mean, love to wear a red dress all February long, which is Heart Health Month. But there's still so much misunderstanding. Women can be ashamed if they think they are not heart healthy, that they're doing something wrong. They don't look as carefully at family history. Women often tend to blow off the signs of what could be a heart issue. And on the other side of it is that to date, women have really been treated like smaller men. A lot of the historic research has just taken place on men and not women. And we're really 35 years behind in understanding women's hearts. And at the Minneapolis Heart Institute Foundation, we are eager to make up that gap and taking big steps to do so. And if anybody's on social where it's #ResearchHer, we're really trying to make up that lost time.
That is amazingly sad to think that we're 35 years behind when it comes to women's heart health. That's a lot of lives lost.
It is. And we need to take the steps now, and we have an effort of cardiologists coming together, putting forth the studies and really demanding inclusion of women in critical studies, and also looking retrospectively at past data to have a deeper understanding. And it's a partnership between physicians, industry, and patients. We all need to believe that we need to make up that gap, and we need to do it now.
And women themselves also need to be their own best health advocates.
Absolutely. Everybody needs to be their best health advocate, but so often women are very busy taking care of others that they put their own health on the back shelf and are not their best advocate.
So don't think you're being a hypochondriac. If you're feeling some issues, get that checked out.
Absolutely. And they're not the traditional signs that often men feel, right? Stiffness in the arm or a racing heartbeat. Sometimes it's they've been tired and they'll just say, well, I've been working hard, or I haven't been sleeping enough, or I must have just pushed myself too hard. You really need to know your numbers, know the signs, and talk to your physician. One of the things we uncover so often, because so many women are also mothers, or they trust their OBGYN, and that remains their primary physician through a lifetime. And OBGYNs are wonderful people, but they are not cardiovascular experts. So please, women out there, see a cardiologist, have a heart scan, know your heart.
Right, and I'm guessing the OBGYN docs would say, get a cardiologist.
Right, absolutely. But we have to know to do that, and when to make the referral, and that it is good just to understand where you're at with your heart health, so you have a baseline, you can track it, you know your family history. So that's, I know so many people love a to-do list. Please put that on your to-do list.
So you're talking about some very practical things, but in your world, where often business, healthcare, philanthropy intersect, sometimes collide.
Yes.
You have to deal with big picture things, real macro, both economic, macro philanthropy.
Right.
You have experience with global philanthropy, clinical trials. How do you make it all real for the people you have to work with? Because not everyone is into the policy of philanthropy.
Right. So, that can go in so many directions. But let me start with the fact that people probably understand research is expensive. It is critical. It is what moves our care forward, but it is expensive. And probably not too surprising to people, our federal and state government is wonderful and slow. And we don't have time to wait for the funding to ask some of those important questions. So what can move our knowledge and our care forward is philanthropic dollars. And really, it's infusing that into our business model at the Minneapolis Heart Institute Foundation, which again, we have 70 plus employees. We have 200 active studies going. We partner with 70 cardiologists and surgeons to make this research happen. It could not happen the way it does without philanthropy. And that is what makes the Minneapolis Heart Institute, the foundation at Abbott Northwestern Hospital, the place you want to go if you're looking for answers. We had our 35-year anniversary just 2 years ago, and our theme was Hope Discovered Here. And that is what research offers. Because of the industry-sponsored research, because of the physician-initiated research, we can offer more treatments that you could get at a usual clinic or hospital. So we really love to say to families, to patients, hope is discovered here, and we have more options because of our research.
All right, let's have a little fun. I know that you have men and women on your team. You're focused on women's heart health to some new levels right now. But you have 3 sons, no
Yes,
daughters.
I do.
How does being Kris Fortman to 3 sons and a husband, I mean, that's a lot of testosterone in your house.
Yes.
How does that work?
Well, I have a lot of fun. I grew up with all sisters, so this has been quite the pivot point for me, and I love every minute of it. And there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of energy.
Smells.
And yeah, they're teenage boys, so yes. And in addition to my wonderful husband and boys, I also have 4 wonderful dogs at home. So we have a lot happening.
Are the dogs all boys?
You know, they were at one point, but we've added 2 girls to the mix, which I feel a little of companionship and camaraderie there. So that's fun.
What are some of the things you like to do to refresh and restore your own health with your husband and your sons?
Yeah, we are big hikers. We love to go around the U.S. to the national parks and hike. And a really special place for our family is Glacier National Park. We go there almost every other year. We'll try the other parks on the off year, but we always return to Many Glacier, and we take long hikes together. Like you said, it's a time to put technology away. It's a time to be present, and it's a time to push your body too. So my husband and I always joke because we used to lead the way on these day hikes, and now we're working to catch up to our 3 teenage boys.
What a wonderful tradition. Let us talk about tradition a little bit. What are some of the traditions that you value, and what's your advice to our listeners when it comes to maintaining tradition?
Yeah, well, I think we find tradition in the little things, and I'll just keep talking as a mom for a moment. Tucking my kids in is a huge tradition for us. It doesn't matter what time I get in. Usually I like to tuck them in and say goodnight right when they're going to bed, but if for some reason I had a work event and I'm coming in late, I still go in and tuck my boys in, and I think they're never too old for that tradition.
So how is college going to work with that?
Yeah, that's a little text now. So I do bring technology back into it. My son is at Montana State and loving it. Surprise, surprise, found his way to Montana. And now it's a text to wish sweet dreams. So we'll see.
Well, we are at Capitol Grill in downtown Minneapolis, and this is a place that knows a lot of traditions and family meals, good food, good drinks. If Kristine Fortman were a drink or a cocktail, what would she be?
I'm a mimosa for sure. Wow. I love the mornings, I love the bubbles, and I love the vitamin C.
I love that you got in that little health attribute,
right?
There.
You got to find it.
Yes. What would be if you could just take a magic wand and wave it? Where would heart health be in 10 years?
Oh my goodness. Well, our vision is a world without heart and vascular disease. We've got a lot of work to do there, but it would be where women, men, children, adults, no matter what your background, because we have certain groups of individuals that are at higher risk, that we all have a deep understanding and know what to do to have the healthiest hearts possible.
That is a great way to wind down. Kristine Fortman, thanks for spending time with Real Leaders with Roshini today.
Thanks, Roshini. It's been fun.
Until next time, keep it real.